Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the Wrestless channel. Today we are here to review WWE Bad Blood 24, because you see, now we've got Bad Blood. See, it used to be Mad Love, but now Maroni's got problems and I don't think The Rock can solve them. So, how are we
Very
feeling
good.
today, boys?
Brody, you start, buddy. You look great.
Like 10
Glowing.
sacks, 10 sacks of shit. I had work yesterday up until fucking 11. And the handy thing about work in hospitality is because they were trying to get the bar closed early, but I'd already ordered my pint. The manager literally comes out to me like a half hour before I finish my shift and he goes, "Do you want to come in and have your pint?" I was like, "I'm not drinking on shift." And he goes, "Well, I'm giving you permission to." I was like, "Oh, fucking deadly. Cool." So I'm just fucking in the last half hour of my job with a fucking pint of Guinness going, "This is the life." But the problem with that one Guinness was I now had all the time after my work to have another pint, to which I got invited up to one of my mates' pubs. And I ended up having, I think it was like 6, 7 pints. And then my mate gives me a glass of whiskey. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And then this one starts chatting to me. And I was like, "Oh, you're very pretty," fucking all this shit, flirting away as you do. And she's like, "Do you want to come back to mine?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, fucking, we'll see where the night goes." And about half hour later, fucking, we were just chatting away. And she was like, "So what do you do?" I was like, "I work." And she goes, "Why'd you go to college?" I was like, "Oh, I'm finished college. I fucking went a long time ago. Don't care about that." You in college? She was like, "Yeah, starting in September." I was like, "Good question. How old are you?" She goes, 18. I was like, "Okay, well, that's good. Fucking, that's the bare minimum requirement." "When's your birthday?" And she goes, 2006. I was like, no."
Oh, people aren't born then, are they? They
I,
stopped, surely. They stopped after like '02. Yeah?
fucking, I'd
We're on
like to
agreement?
think, but that happens, and immediately I was like, "Right, I'm going home. Fuck that."
Jesus, thank God.
Have some
Jeez.
standards.
Look,
Bro.
I like the young ones, but fucking, I heard that year, and I was just like, no.
No, it took you.
I was in primary school, fucking, when that shit happened. Like, nah,
Facts.
like
I
I
was in senior
remember
infants.
2006,
Yeah, me too.
but fucking, yeah. Other than that, I woke up today at like 20 past 7. Even I got like 4 hours sleep. Fucking, really, really fucking hungover, and I didn't wake up and work until maybe about 2.5 hours into my shift properly.
How many coffees did it take?
Like
Because you
5.
had, yeah, I was gonna say you were on like 3, I think, the last time I was talking to you.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and these two had sent 55 Snapchat messages to each other
We were
in a
talking,
group
we were
chat.
conversing.
Yeah, sorry, Curran, for having a conversation. We'll save it fucking exclusively for the podcast.
We are
No,
on contracts,
no,
ironclad.
no. It's just
So we could
every like
we
I keep like going in and out of sleep. All I could hear was the fucking Snapchat sound going off. It's constantly. I was like,
Put your phone on silent. What kind of maniac sleeps with their phone not on silent?
look, Curran. I
Or am
make
I
you a
alone?
proposition. We will stop communicating on external channels of the podcast, but you have to let us be racist on the podcast. Then
So I hear you're a racist now, Maroney.
only,
we're all
only,
racist here.
only if you can do it in a Triple H voice.
Oh,
All right.
speaking of,
Let's.
we just kick off with that first before we even get into the review.
Yeah.
I've never, Jeff. How do you feel? How was your day?
Oh, it was good. I woke up and I rewatched Bad Blood, so that was eye-opening, to say the least.
You
And
poor
I
thing.
did all my notes, and I watched the press conference where I found out that Triple H is now a racist. So
Now.
now, only now, it's never happened before, Hooker T. But anyways, so yeah, before we get into the review, in the post press conference, Triple H was asked out the gate by someone about the recent allegations towards the pushing of black male talent on the main roster, and he replied with basically screaming out for help that he needs media trading because he goes, "Well, I don't see color. I only see talent." Which I think might have been the worst way to answer that ever, because Not only is that an outdated term to like use in terms of like PC when you're dealing with media when you're like the face of a company. Secondly, he said he only sees talent. So he said any black person who's a male on the main roster is not talented enough to get a main event or get like a pay-per-view match alone. I think pay-per-view match win in the last 18 months or something like that.
I agree.
All
Might
right.
get us in trouble.
So David, do you want us to just kick off into the review in general, or actually no? Do you know what? Just ever give a brief overview. Brody, we'll start with you because you have some thoughts on this show. So give us a brief overview of how you felt.
Feel?
Yeah, how does it make you feel, brother?
Like I jizzed fucking sandpaper.
All right.
It was a rough watch, boys.
So, David, any advances on jizzing with sandpaper?
It's just so I will give a little behind the scenes look here. We watched this in the server that we use to record this podcast and all of the videos on the channel. We watched this in with someone else who we're probably going to have on the podcast going forward. You'll meet him soon enough, I imagine. But yeah, just watching that and then going back to watch it with no friends there to help you, and just feels very different. Felt very different, and there was some good stuff, but also just a lot of weird, silly bollocks that went on.
Yeah, and not like the fun 80s weird bollocks, like just bad weird bollocks.
Not even Dementia Vince funny bollocks.
Like there wasn't golden eggs. There wasn't a gobbledygooker. There wasn't the Eggman. But yeah, I'm on David's wavelength. I went back and rewatched it. Jesus, it was it's a slog when you're not watching it with a couple of people on the call taking the piss. But in terms of Bad Blood, let's get into it. So we kicked off with a video package from Trips and Cody and Metro Boomin. I thought it was a bit of fun. I enjoyed the little bit, like they took the piss. It was filmed really well. They had the big cameras out for that one. It was basically just your mission is to stake out was it Allstate Arena? Was it Allstate Arena they were in tonight? I think. So stake out the Allstate Arena for Bad Blood. We're bringing it back. Secret mission. Blah blah blah. All that bollocks. And then Cody pulls up with Metro Boomin to the arena, and then we get introed to Naomi, Jade, and Bianca, Powerbuff Girls, the hosts of Hell in a Cell, who in one line undid all the work that Punk and Drew did like this week to build to this match, because they went, "It's Hell in a Cell," and it just took the wind out of my sails. Then we have Drew and Punk and Hell in a Cell kicking off the show. How did we feel about this kicking off the show, boys?
The only good match on the show.
Oh yeah, should have been the main event. We've been saying it for weeks.
Yeah, Punk's gonna be sour about that one, I'd say.
The fact that,
but anyways, go on. Yeah,
the fact that Dwayne is in the main event of Bad Blood and I'm not makes me sick.
Not sour grapes, ladies and gentlemen. So we have before the match, we just have a quick WWE Legends pan that we get in between matches throughout the card. So we have Goldberg, Gageberg, we've Killer Mike from Run the Jewels. And then Cole said that Killer Mike got his nickname from Michael Cole, because Cole's the whitest man alive. Anyways, there's a nice quote from Corey saying, "In order to destroy the monsters of the world, he himself must become a monster." Nodding to Punk's like ROH stuff. That was cool. Cell is different. It's a lot more rigid. Maroney pointed out there's a lot of holes in it. And because he thought there was going to be more Cell stuff. There wasn't much Cell stuff here though. There's like a few little, I'm going to throw you into the cell, but no like breaking through, no climbing. And they reestablished the cell as a structure that keeps people actually in, doesn't get ripped off.
Thank God.
Yeah, enjoyed that, because I think every other match had interference, so it was nice that this one.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. First notes here, Punky, get the tables, because he pulled out a table. Everyone thought, we're going through the table early. No, they're going to rip the legs off the table and choke each other to death with them, which I thought was great. It was a nice little subversion, what they did. Drew brought out a toolbox. I said Drew tried to throw a wrench in Punk's plans, but ended up throwing one on his own because he walloped it off the pole and he's like, Punk then got on top for a little bit, but not that much because Drew just hit a fucking claymore outside and dropped him. Drew was in control for a lot of the match, which about 10 minutes in, I was like, oh no. It's like, guess he's losing. But McIntyre loaned out a Punk into the cage and had a real shit-eating grin on his face afterwards. Really good. Punk got some color. And I was at this point, I think on the call, I was like, Punk is like the best to get color. Little did I know, Drew was about to get even more, and the hard way. So steps to the side of Punk's head. Spanner then dug into the cut on Punk's head as well. Then Drew tried to head out towards Punk, got smacked with a toolbox, and then he was ripping blood, like pissing pints of blood out of his forehead. Like it was kind of scary. I was like, maybe stop the match for a second and check on old Drew. Then we had a GTS, but Drew rolls out. Claymore out of nowhere for a near fall. There's a really nice visual of when Punk put on the sharpshooter, and both of them were like covered in crimson masks, and Drew was like crawling to the ropes. Really good, really nice camera work. Then we had a white noise from Drew on the steps. That was fucking rough, boys. That was a bit. Ugh.
But as we were to find out, that was not the worst spot involving the steps in this match.
No, it bloody well wasn't. So we have an anaconda voice, and Punk, in the words of Michael, banging into the face of McIntyre with Spanner. Then we had a low blow, and then Drew brought out what everyone thought was going to be thumbtacks. It wasn't thumbtacks. It was bits off the bracelet, which was... Yeah. I was really happy to see that again. Woo! It's never ending. We're never going to escape the bloody bracelet. And then after he broke that out, Drew went for a claymore and went all the way to the edge of the steps and broke bloody about 5 vertebrae, I'd say. He just killed his lower back on those steps. Brutal. And it said Punk taking inspiration from Wesley from earlier on in the week. So he wrapped the chain around his knee, which was really nice to see there. Then we had a GTS with the chain for the win. We had both men selling the hell out of the match afterwards, which was nice to see again because you don't get that as much. Punk really sold it. He like collapsed twice. They gave him oxygen mask and he kind of batted it off and he's like, I'm fine. Then he nearly tripped over at the top of the ramp. Just closing thoughts for a rubber match with the two predecessors that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Like I didn't really enjoy the other two that much. I think it killed it. I think they knocked it out of the park. Easily the best match on the show. Top 5 cell matches of all time, I think, for most people now. It really reinstated that like stip as the end. Like this is end of the line. When things boil over, that's what we do. I just thought like the use of the blood, the aggression, the brutalization that they put everyone through in this match, it was definitely deserving. It was similar to like Hangman and Swerve in that it felt justified the amount that they put each other through because they've been building this kind of boiling tension for ages. But yeah, David, what did you think of the Hell in a Cell kickoff?
I had a great time with this, which, you know, made it clear I'm not the biggest fan of Punk, but he did well. Granted, is mostly because, you know, he got his battered 6 ways from Sunday. But, you know, great stuff. I loved all of like the callbacks to his little deathmatch spots. Obviously, the chain around the knee. Even I don't think you mentioned this. A shout out to his certain very nice, very evil friend.
Oh yes, yeah, the Danhausen spot.
Yeah,
that was cool.
With the little bracelet bits filling in for teeth. I think I said that on the call. Very nice, very evil.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
Yeah, it's So I know someone who has taken that from Danhausen. Not fun.
I wouldn't say so. Jeez.
Yeah. But great stuff. You know, just like, oh, Punk looks great, and then Drew got busted open hard way. It was like, he bleeds like a real fucking man.
Yeah, but it was real blood too. He got
Real
cut the
blood,
hard way there.
real blood, cry me a river. Yeah, just great stuff. Like, I'm surprised Punk wasn't in. Like, cause we'll just go into the backstage stuff. Punk very much not injured. Drew, on the other hand, seems to have suffered a few injuries. I heard rumblings of maybe a concussion. I hope not, but regardless, wish Drew the best. Yeah, Sean?
I mean, I don't know how to put this. Like, in terms of how the rest of the night went, I thought it was the best match, and it was a massive misadvertisement to what Bad Blood was going to be. But it had everything. It had color. It had spots. Um, it felt very real. It respected the feud as well as the match type. Um, but at the same time, fuck me, boys. I just can't get over the rest of the card. It upsets me
Yeah.
so much.
I know, buddy. We'll
There's
get there.
Yeah, this is gonna be on those fucking top 10 lists. Just great matches on middling pay per views.
If there was ever a one match card, I mean, this might be
it. Which is rare
um,
because I think WWE have had a better batting average of that in recent years.
yeah,
But this is
I think
definitely
it's
just a one match card.
just again since this is like the high point. Before we move on to the lower rungs of this night, it's a real shame because you had like I can think of at least two matches, maybe three. I would have preferred to be on this card that could replace like the dumpster match on SmackDown and the triangle ladder match on SmackDown. Even the last Monster Standing match. I think any of those three, if you put them here, raises the card a bit, and all the
Gunther
screwy finish.
versus Zayn, even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gunther versus Zayn could have been on this like easily, but
we'll talk about Gunther later. But yeah,
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So before we get into Jackson Bailey, we had a couple more little spots. So more legends. We had Jacqueline there, Lillian Garcia, Booker T. Oh yeah, man! He was in the front row. That was great. Big fan of Books. We head up to the VIP suite, where I said the hosts had a not so quick change, in different dresses than they were at the start. We had Mickey James, DDP, Pete Rosenberg, X-Pac, and Jey Uso in the VIP lounge. Yeet. And then basically just a little bit of preview for the match. They're like, "Oh, what are you excited to see?" And Naomi was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see my girl Bailey whoop Nia's ass and all this." And it cuts to Bianca, and she's like, "Yeah, I wish her all best of luck," because she still doesn't like her, which is again understandable. she ran the rooster with damage control for a while, and she wasn't nice to Bianca, so I like that.
But Bianca
Again.
should be familiar with the fact that Triple H doesn't see color; he sees talent.
Yeah, she should be. Hope she tuned into the presser. So now we have Nia Jackson Bailey for the women's WWE title. So I just put it first. I just feel bad for these two having to follow Drew and Punk because I think no matter how they did in this match, it was gonna be a drop off anyway. Started all right though. Like I didn't mind this. Like again, Nia continuing to have the best run of her career, which again isn't saying much, but it's her strongest run. We'd start Nia starting strong, just overpowering Bailey. She used a couple of submissions, which was weren't perfectly executed, not like Bret Hart's favorite worker or anything, but like it was nice to see her at least try shit in this match.
Look, she's better than that piece of shit Bill Goldberg.
Okay, I didn't know we had Bret Hart on the stream, but anyways, moving. We have I thought there was nice speed from Bailey outmatching the champ. We had a nice guillotine leg drop as Nia attempted to get out of the ring. Then I put down I like Nia's trying new stuff. Just a shame the Rana didn't go well. So like she tries to Rana and just power bombs herself. Like she just power bombs herself and Bailey takes a bump.
Bailey a full second later goes, "Oh."
I'll do a somersault. she hits a she's a back bump. So again, she's trying, but it's not working. Then there was a power bomb on the steps from Nia, more like a gentle drop. But then the way she decked her into the barricade woke her up a bit. Jesus Christ, she just flung her in there. Then there was a janky Samoan drop from Nia. I don't even know if I'd call it a Samoan drop, more like a
Oh,
Samoan stumble.
Christ.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't great. Nia kicks Bailey onto Jessica Carr, and then she fell on her, which again continues the string of strange ref bumps we've had
Yeah,
in
I
WWE
quite
recently.
liked the way this was set up. So Bailey falls on the ref. She's like like doing in a push-up position, and
Mm,
then Bailey enziguris her.
yeah,
Nia, who was currently like standing over, and she just drops.
yeah, yeah,
Just smushes her.
yeah. It's some strange ref, but it's like it's not as egregious as the Cody one.
Oh, we'll get
He
to
just
that.
gets thrown into his leg. Um, yeah, then we have Tiffy coming in, and Tiffy was genuinely trying to help Nia here.
Yeah,
Like she was getting the ref up. She took out Bailey, then got the ref up, so she could count for Nia. Um,
I
then
genuinely,
Nia.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry, go
I
on.
genuinely, as we were watching this, I said, "Are they gonna do fucking what was it? Brian and Big Show when Brian cashed in, just like, oh, his best friend. Well, I have an opportunity, so fuck yeah."
Yeah, but Tiffy was genuinely trying to help her, and then Jessica picked up the briefcase 'cause it was on the floor, and Tiffany was about to get it back off her, and Nia becomes the Undertaker and just sits up to see it. Which is ridiculous, but it did lead them. They were arguing back and forth. Bailey's a roll up, which I genuinely thought she might have won there, which
Yeah,
would have maybe made this match a bit better. Like, not that I want Bailey to win, but at least it would have been something different,
something.
something unexpected. So it's a nice roll up. Kick out, then a distraction from Tiffany where she throws the briefcase up to Bailey, who's on the top rope. Bailey throws it back down. Nia hits a super Samoan drop, which did look great. Like, it looked really good, and the Annihilator for the win.
Mm.
So yeah, boys, thoughts. Sean, go to you first.
I've poos that have more bumps than what Nia took in this match.
Yeah,
Not the clip.
that's
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Uh,
David.
I for what this was and for what it should have been, I thought they did fine.
Mm,
Really like I really like some of the stuff that Nia and Bailey tried. Just wish that
Stop.
it was Naomi.
Just stop doing this match. Like,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
too soon. Yeah.
like, granted, I understand Nia is not what I would. How do I say this in a politically correct manner? I understand that Nia is not the most athletic of people.
Mm,
Um, you're not going to see her busting out some ricochet flips or shit, even though she tried with a little Hurricane Rana.
She did it
yeah.
Scott Steiner style.
But in my opinion, both characters feel really stale right now.
Mm,
Like, I'm not interested in Nia's reign as champ anymore. I'm not interested in Bailey being champ for a foreseeable. I'm really interested in Tiffy Stratton holding the Money in the Bank, but at the same time, I feel like her with that briefcase could be a lot more interesting if you just replaced the two other people on the card that's actually competing.
yeah.
Like, literally fucking anyone. I'd love to see Chelsea, fucking Naomi, fucking. I was gonna say Mitch. I might take that back. But fucking.
Aw,
Yo,
give
I,
Mitch a shot. She's
I,
great. She's a
I
fun
don't.
match.
I don't care for a Mitchum fucking title, champ. Sorry. But fucking, like, honestly, if you gave me like the fucking dumpster match, but for the women's fucking world title or WWE title, and then had a fucking Tiffy Stratton fucking cash in halfway through, fucking there you go. Honestly, that would have been 10 times more fucking entertaining than the slugfest we got.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slog, bit of a
mm,
slog. Unfortunate that the stuff now is trying isn't working.
yeah,
Maybe next time just like make sure you can hit this stuff. Because if she hit that Hurricane Rana, it would have been unreal. Like if
mm.
she'd hit the things, that would have been real fun. But it's just.
I
Anyways,
appreciate the attempt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I appreciate she's trying to change and get better.
Yeah, do it in the performance center first, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
Fair.
right, let's
And then
move
we
on.
have Let me have a quick Xavier Woods Dragon Ball ad spot. He was probably creaming his jocks about this because he's a big nerd. So fair play
Yeah.
to him. He got a Dragon Ball car. He was showing off the new game. Then we have more Hall of Fame shout outs. So we have X Pac, Tully Blanchard, and Aaron Anderson. One of these is not like the other. Watch yourself, brother. You're going to get brain busted. So we cut to Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Big rat boy Fergal comes out with a mask and a weird bit of makeup on his eye. Don't know what that
He's
was.
back in his gimp phase, boys. He's back in
Yeah.
his gimp phase.
Yeah, but in other news, in better attire news, Damian Priest's coat was great. I love the little blood drips. He looked great. We waxed lyrical about how gorgeous these men were for about half the match on the call. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, they're in their 40s. Look at them. But anyways, in terms of the match itself, my first note is when Finn is entering, I get it. I don't think Finn knows what a carb is. He's in his 40s. Look at him. Guy in the baby oil. He was all oiled up, like ripping off the jacket.
His wife
Big
is
hot
one of the
dog.
luckiest women on earth.
Dude, honestly. But anyways, so we had really nice strikes from Priest to start off. I think his strikes always look great. I think they look great, sound great. His little spinning roundhouses and stuff like that, he always hits them pretty well. There's a nice flapjack by Priest. Again, this match, not much. I thought it was a lot better when I watched it with the lads, and then I watched it on my own, and I was like, oh, there's really not much. Like, bar the nice strikes from Damo, like there wasn't much. There was interference.
You should really make those spinning roundhouse kicks a signature.
Yeah, or even a finish. I'll take a finish for that. That looks great. But yeah, interference by JD because of course there is. It's a second match with interference out of 3. We had Priest overcoming it because he's Damian Priest and he's uber babyface. Balor hit a few coup de grace to the back and stuff like that. They look kind of good, but again, Balor just doesn't have any credibility at the minute, so you know it's hard. I thought this was where you give him the win and try and fuel him a bit, but obviously not because Priest catches him, goozles him out of the air and hits the south of heaven. So again, it was a decent in-ring stuff, but it was very raw. It was very like if this was a main event of Raw, yeah, give it to me all day. But it was on a pay-per-view card. People paid money for this, you know, and I don't think it belonged here unless you were going to give Finn a win, which they didn't do. But yeah, David, thoughts on Fergal versus Damo?
Like, I did not have I like these guys a lot, but I didn't have super high expectations for the match itself.
Mhm.
I thought it was a decent bit of fun. Probably not pay-per-view caliber, but I understand why you did because of the other half of this, which we'll get into very shortly. But yeah, I thought Finn could have used the win more, but sure enough, Damien's top babyface now. Good stuff. I am interested to see where he goes on from here, especially considering what you said at the presser. That him and Rhea are gonna separate after this and just do their own thing. Like, I'm interested to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I think that's for the better. I love the Terror Twins and everything, but leave Damien do his own bits, leave Rhea do her own bits. Sean, thoughts on the match?
I think this match falls back into the previous Triple H trope of being too predictable, almost to an extent. We've been saying fucking for a couple pay-per-views up before this podcast, that a lot of Triple H pay-per-views you could call it fucking months in advance. And then whilst giving the pay-per-view any fucking credit, I suppose you can't say it was predictable. This match really was. And it just doesn't make sense in my mind. Like, if you're going to have a 1v1 fucking Balor versus Priest situation and Priest wins, fair, I get that then. But you're having Balor versus Priest and Judgment Day coming out and essentially not succeeding in fucking up. Like, I understand you want to fucking establish that fucking Priest is the face and fucking Balor's the heel, but fucking in that sense, Priest is already an established babyface, a successful babyface at that. Fucking, he's the previous world fucking champion, right? And now you have the opportunity to get a bit of momentum on for Finn, and you bury him and his group that they broke away from this exact individual so they could dominate. And it's just bad decisions made by fucking stupid creative, in my opinion. Fucking Finn's an incredible talent. You could have him elevate so many fucking other people, but you don't let him do anything.
Yeah. I think I'm getting to the realization that Finn he's not going to be a world title guy for the foreseeable, which sucks because he's fantastic. But hopefully I'm wrong. Look, hopefully he cracks on Raw and he goes on a tirade. But Finn Balor, like, he changed the whole landscape of pro wrestling. If you think about it.
He was the first ever Universal Champion. Like,
yeah, Bullet Club. He invented Bullet Club.
I would argue this would be more impactful.
No, first ever Universal title, 100%. That is big because, like, of how it probably should have gone if he didn't get injured by Seth, because he was, you were out with Becky, so I'm going to injure your shoulder. That's exactly what happened. That's what he said.
and considering what that title went on to mean eventually.
Oh, 100%. Like, Finn all over wrestling has fingerprints. First Universal title, his NXT run, both of them, really. The invention of Bullet Club, which basically led to AEW. Like, let's be like in it. What?
The amount of women he's ran through, he's got his fingerprints in all of them.
Yeah, he's all over the shop. But anyways, enough giving out about the use of bloody Finn Balor. Even though I'd love to rant for an hour about how they should use him. But next we had the segment everyone's talking about, the Triple H Blood Money belt. So it's great, right? So I'll just give a quick little rundown. Triple H comes out. He introduces the most gaudy, ugly shit belt I've ever seen in my life. It says Crown Jewel Champion on it. It's basically the women and the men world champions and WWE champions are going to compete against each other. Crown Jewel to be crowned the Crown Jewel champion. But their belts won't be on the line, so they mean a lot. Fuck all. We've Gunther come out. He sets the record straight that Goldberg is in fact not his favorite wrestler of all time, and he just did it to fuck with Bret Hart. He says something along the lines of, I think it was, I hope that, he says this to Gageberg, that I hope that your father's a better father than he was a wrestler. And then Goldberg loses it and hops the barricade, tries to square up. Security come down, break it up. Zayn comes in, gets heat for their match on Monday for the world title, beats him down, and then awkwardly Triple H raises Bill Goldberg's hand, which, before we get into the discussion, I'd like to remind everybody that on that episode of Tough Enough, he gave out for a solid 5 minutes about Goldberg and then reiterated, he's a good guy. I like Bill Goldberg. But if he is a hangnail, he can't work this week. So awkwardly held his hand up. And then in the presser, he did say, when he was asked about Goldberg and going forward, he was like, I talked to Bill earlier in the day, went really well. Talked to Goldberg after the show. He had a glint in his eye. So never say never. So his thoughts on the Blood Money title?
Why? Just simply why? Why would you have your champions face each other?
For the king and queen of Saudi Arabia.
It just feels very like, see, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It just feels very, back in the day when Vince did fucking Survivor Series, it was always fucking SmackDown versus Raw, and then he did bragging rights. So you essentially had two. Yeah, you had two really fucking shit SmackDown versus Raws every year. And then fucking now we have essentially an icon for SmackDown versus Raw in Crown Jewel. It doesn't make it good because wrestling has, evolved into a much better content piece in 2024. I still don't want to see SmackDown versus Raw. I'm fucking sick of the concept. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have a bit of a controversial take here. Minority take.
Belt.
I don't mind it. See, look, there's a couple of things to which, like, obviously you can't use it as an everyday belt. Obviously, but like in terms of if we're going to compare it to say like whatever the fuck Braun Strowman got given, fucking it's gorgeous in comparison to that,
He
right?
should
And then
raise stink about that. Shouldn't
oh
he?
yeah,
Yeah, you
sure.
should start tweeting about it.
But
I have a
fucking
torn groin, but fuck this.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like the fucking world title belts you had before the fucking winged eagle. You know, the really fucking tall fucking centerpiece plates.
Yeah.
Um, but fucking, I don't mind it. Like obviously it's not gorgeous in any way, shape, or form. But fucking, it's not hideous. My take from it is I was texting one of my fucking mates throughout the segment, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think it is?" Because obviously it's a fucking title, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I hope it's like a women's mid card title," and I was like, "Yeah, probably." And fucking, I had another
The
mate
opposite.
text, another one of my mates fucking text me. Was like, "What if we're actually going to do like a European fucking title, like just add another mid card, but for fucking because they're doing so many European fucking pay per views lately, fucking why not?" And I was
It
like,
makes
you know,
sense.
that's not a bad idea. I feel like the European title has a lot more of a place on WWE product now than it did fucking when it was on it at the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then they pull the cloth off and it was that, and I just thought, wow, that would make a great fucking paperweight for someone who ever wins that fucking thing on an annual basis.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah.
uh, the segment itself, I really enjoyed. Gunther, as he says, busting Bill's balls. Um,
Yeah.
I I think he was the best part of the segment. I don't understand why Bill Goldberg felt like for whatever reason he could take on fucking Gunther. I don't know if you've seen a Bill Goldberg match, but Bill Goldberg cannot wrestle. Gunther can wrestle. Fucking
Sean is
like Gunther,
Sean's currently
like
being
Gunther is a wrestler.
overtaken by the
Wrestlers.
spirit of Bret Hart.
Yeah. But look, think about it in the sense of, do you remember like fucking that like William Regal fucking interview where he's on about that fucking one
Oh,
WCW match, right?
yeah.
You're like Gunther doesn't have Brock Lesnar Goldberg style matches. You have to have a technical bout with Gunther in some way, shape, or form. Goldberg is not good for that.
Mm.
But Zayn coming out was a bit predictable. All in all, this segment was stupid. I don't like the title. Fucking, I don't like the fucking reason for the title. The biggest announcement of fucking like when Triple H started this whole fucking speech of, "Oh, I lived on this road like fucking somewhat years ago." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be big and I was like, "Oh, fuck off."
Oh wait,
You,
how did I forget? Hold on, I just want to add. He did shout out terrorizing. He's like I was terrorizing WCW. But yeah, it gave very much Tony Khan as a huge announcement vibes, where it's just like taking the piss. And I think the belt itself, it's not the worst belt ever. I think it's gaudy and it's a bit in your face, but it's also what the belt stands for.
Yeah,
Like what the symbolism is doesn't
the
help.
Blood
Everyone
Money
kind of
Championship,
hates that.
which
Yeah,
just
so I can't
like,
wait for Phil to wear that out. That'll be good.
oh, he's definitely going there. Just just
Genuine. If
complete the
if there's
fucking turn. Just complete it.
if there's one thing I do think about CM Punk is he's a curmudgeon and stuck in his ways. So I don't think he's gonna go out there. I think he's still very like morally against all that stuff. But we'll see. We'll see when we
Yeah.
get to Crown Jewel.
But
So
just early
you see
predictions
him in the
before we
crowd just
leave.
holding
Yeah,
a fucking trans rights
it,
fucking sign.
just yeah, he'll get beheaded. But yeah, early
true, very
predictions.
true.
Early predictions for who you think will win these gaudy
The
Cumberland balls.
heels, please, the heels.
Uh,
Well, Gunther's not losing to Cody.
No,
Like,
he definitely
no,
needs it more than Cody does. Yeah,
you
I,
do that
I
match at a bigger stage when you're going to have a proper match for them.
I I
That's
hope he
mainly.
doesn't give a shit for it as much as he doesn't give a shit for the fucking King of the Ring crown.
No, oh, yeah, sure. But I don't
Like
mind. I don't mind that they moved away. Like if he'd come out as King Gunther, I think it would have been a bit like proper like
the
crown
King
and
I was
Jewel.
young.
King Gunther.
Which
you know,
also, yeah, I should probably bring that up now that Sean's broken the seal on it. Just the fact that specifically Goldberg is probably going to have his retirement match against specifically Gunther. Just like it's a match I'm looking forward to, but just the character optics don't look great.
I mean, his match with Lashley was all right. That's
No,
mostly because of Lashley, but
yeah,
it was all right.
no, I just mean specifically the most famous Jewish wrestler of all time losing to
Oh,
Gunther.
Das Ring General. Yeah, no, I didn't think about it that way.
Ringkampf.
Nah, Goldberg's going over. He's winning the belt. But yeah, I think
No, please
I think for
no.
shits and giggles, Gunther should pull off a green mist in the ring.
they should do it for the Blood Money belt. They should have a match for that title next year, having this Goldberg versus Gunther. That's what I want. I won't
Liv
be watching it
Morgan
anyway.
versus fucking Nia Jax is a strange
Oh, we've lost John.
fucking
Oh,
bout,
don't even
though.
get me started on that. Yeah, heel versus heel, a bit weird. Tiffy could cash in,
Hmm?
maybe.
Tiffy cashes in. She only wins the Blood Money belt.
Yeah, but anyways, we've spent way too much
Yeah,
time
let's
on
go.
that hunky chunk. So more crowd panning. DDP, Big Papa Pump in the crowd. So DDP ran the hell down from the VIP lounge.
Yeah, I know we just said not to interject here, but I have to bring this up.
No, shoot.
My friend, my internet friend Jenny Omega, recently just like posted on Twitter, just tricking people into thinking Scott Steiner was dead.
What? How?
I don't know, but the best one was someone just like, I could feel him watching down on the show, and then someone just posted like a ghostly apparition of Scott Steiner above a Waffle House. It's just
Oh, it should have been above a Shodies. That's what him
Yeah.
and Rick owned, right? They're
yeah.
Oh,
Let's,
but anyways,
let's
then
get on to it.
yeah, we have Corey Graves shouting out the big bad booty daddy, which was nice. We had the VIP lounge then back up to the girls again in different dresses. They had a lot of dresses for this show. Fair play to them.
Yeah,
They
I
were
would
working
also
over.
like to specifically point out that it was like, is there someone wearing a replica belt in the background? Like, oh wait, no, that's just Jey Uso.
Yeah, Yeet Man was there. So this is the part where we have Metro Boomin is up there, and they were like, "How are you? You were talking to Cody before he arrived. What are you telling me?" He's like, "I told him to go out there and get it done." So hopefully that's his last appearance because he did not have the charisma, but he did play along with the Chelsea Green bit that came next. So Chelsea Green walks into shot, but before that, you see everyone holding their nose because apparently she either hasn't showered since Friday or the showers aren't working since Friday because everyone's like, "Oh, you stink, get out of here!" And then she goes to take Piper with her, and everyone's like, "Oh, Piper can stay." So Piper stays. So maybe a rift between Chelsea and Piper. Maybe Piper will get a little face push after this. I don't know. Yeah. Then we had Rhea versus Liv, Dom in a shark cage for the women's world title. My first notes are they're really shilling that lowrider, and definitely something's gonna happen to it. Something's gotta happen to that bloody lowrider.
Well,
They keep
something
doing the bit.
Something did, because they're now releasing a toy of it called the Lucha Lowrider.
Yeah, that's great. So they're not selling shark cages, but they are selling bloody Eddie's legacy of a lowrider. But anyways, we had Rhea starting off the match by hitting a promo. One more thing, Dom. One more secret. You're afraid of heights. Raise them up, boys. Get them up there. Raise them all the way up. So she's a bit of a bully, isn't she? Not very nice.
She's an
Poor Dominic.
abuser.
She is. It's rude. I mean, let's look at this, right? Originally, she did just bloody like indoctrinate him into the Judgment Day. Like she stole him. You know, she where to Stephanie'd Dominic Mysterio, and we're all hating on Dom. He's got a lot of trauma, you know.
Yeah.
The poor bastard.
That's why
Yeah,
he's
he's been to
retreating into
jail.
his childhood self and he eats chicken nuggies.
Yeah, like
He's not fair about who his real dad is. His girlfriend's been abusing him for over a year. He's clearly gone down the path of drugs. And fucking now outside
Yeah.
of the breakup, fucking his girlfriend's just trying to revisit all his fucking worst fears and beat his
It's-
current girlfriend.
it's
True
really brutal when you look at it for poor Dom. I think there's a big face run in his shirt.
No, never.
No, it's too fun, boot him. So, we have this match kicking off. Again, similar to Damien and Finn. It was fine. It was everything you were expecting from this match, really. There was a nice code red into the barricade. And then a top rope dive and code breaker from Liv. Those were really nice, really clean. Rhea flipped out of the Oblivion, which was really, really nice. She nearly buckled, nearly dropped, but she landed it well enough. Fair play to her. Liv hits the home wrecker, which I love. It's called the home wrecker. That's fun. Her little kind of, it's like a roll up bomb. It's not a crucifix bomb. It's different. I don't know what you'd call it. David, you trained to wrestle.
I don't think
Any idea what you call
I've
it?
seen that move, but I don't know if there's an official name for it. So I just
Okay.
like the name.
Yeah, I love it too, and it's different. It's a little different thing, which is nice.
It
Razor's Edge
inspires
by
me.
what?
It inspires me.
Yeah, it's great. Anyways, we have Rhea. Rhea hits the Razor's Edge, which was really nice. There was also a Three Amigo spot, blocked at the third Amigo from Liv.
Boo.
We had, yeah, boo. Let her shout out Eddie. Why is this now a spot that heels do? I get Eddie was a heel, but like you're paying tribute to a dead wrestler, and Rhea's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna drop you.
Yeah, you're like a flying fucking headbutt to tribute dead wrestlers.
Yeah, that's the right one. We love flying headbutt. But anyways, Dominic picked the lock apparently. All right, he shoved it up his hole. Maybe I don't know where he got it from, but anyway, that happened. Then we have Dom fell out of the cage, but he's chained to the cage. So that's all right. Thought it was going to be a bit Owen Hart, but it wasn't. Happy days. Then we have Rhea. The first of all, the ref was caught in. I was gonna say 4K, but it was more like 330p maybe at a push on the ref cam, where she was like, I got some business to take care of before I get Liv, and the ref's like, oh, fair enough, go get him. So that was getting abused, sanctioned by a WWE official. She goes and beats the hell out of Dom with a cane.
We'll talk about the official more in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, it would pinata Dom, so that was fun. She's beating the hell out of him, hoping Candy would fall out.
Racist about this at all.
No, there was no racial undertones. A true Triple H moment for the show. Then we have Big Back Woman returns, Raquel Rodriguez, to like no pop, which is really sad because I like Raquel. Higher than no character she had. It was a shame, and also the fact that the whole spot was botched. Apparently, she came out early, I think. She jumped the gun on coming out, and then she dropped Rhea with a Tiana bomb. But the ref saw it, and Trips was in his. Apparently, Trips was in his, basically going like throughout the match. It's DQ. Because the ref could see it all. He couldn't just. Never. And then she tries and drags Liv over Rhea for the pin, but like the match is thrown out anyway, so she kind of gets her back up really quickly.
Never attribute to malice what you can attribute to stupidity. Yeah, just you know, the plan was just for Liv to cheat to retain, but now, ironically, this works out more in Rhea's favor because she technically won the match. She just doesn't have the title, which, boo.
But yeah, and they're gonna have a rematch now. Yay! Everyone wants that. Yeah, that was it. Boys' thoughts. David, will we jump to you first?
Sure. I am not sure why the certain decisions were made here. Like, good for Raquel. Mm-hmm. She was a babyface when she left, so this... I get why, because her and Liv were former tag team champions. You know, they're good buddies. You know, they got backs.
Yeah, big backs, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, the new fetish. But yeah, just like apparently she's in the Judgment Day now, which, alright. But like, I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, I think if she does her Big Mommy Cool thing, that could work really well.
I'm interested to see where this goes, but like, this match was fine up until the end. You know, just like, I like Dom get in pain, so, you know, just him getting whacked repeatedly was fun, but just, yeah, like, I don't know why certain decisions were made, but they were. I'll throw it to you, Sean.
I hate this match. So much. it falls back under the whole fucking. I don't want to see fucking Rhea versus Liv again. Like I don't want to see fucking Nia versus Bailey. I don't want to see fucking Cody versus Roman again. If I'm quite fucking honest with you, and I can see that happening at some point fucking down the fucking road. I'm
Down the
so
Cody
sick of
road.
these fucking like look. Triple H has a stacked roster, and Triple H is great at making stars. It shows like the amount of people that he's established since he's taken over. But he's also shelved a lot of people. Fucking bring him into rotation because I'm sick of watching the same fucking shit. I don't care about your long term storytelling. If you want to do a long term story, have one fucking match, forget about it for a while, have the fucking return to the feud and fucking do it properly instead of, oh, we're just going to do it over and over and over. Oh, and we're going to change the stipulation for the last one. And, oh, guess what? DQ. Like we're not gonna count her out, but oh that's a DQ. Like where the fuck is your consistency
The
here?
ref's
I
decision is
just
final.
I
Crooked
did
ref.
I didn't enjoy it. I like Dom was very entertaining throughout the match. I thought it was interesting. Like it was a first in the Fed to my knowledge in terms of like someone hanging from the shark cage after picking it open, but fucking it wasn't executed well. That's the thing. Like you
Yeah.
could have done like if that was your idea, cool. It's a great idea. Fucking, you could have done a really entertaining match if you just developed a lot more on those ideas. But it was like, oh, we came up with an idea. Let's run with that. And the execution was shit. Fucking honestly, I can't wait to see Liv feud with someone else. But I have to watch fucking Rhea versus Liv again before I can get to that. And fucking Rhea's probably going to win the belt back because, Mania season's around the fucking corner. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy because it at one point was like the feud. Like everyone loved this like a couple of months ago. And then people got over it. you know?
Like,
Um
it was controversial because fucking,
yeah.
the most popular thing was Liv Morgan and fucking Dominic Mysterio. And cool, I understand why
Mm.
wrestling fans are weird, but fucking, um, it's not new. It's not
Mm.
shocking. It's not controversial anymore. It's kind of just an established story, and you're kind of going, okay, cool. You're changing up the Judgment Day for like the fifth time. Cool. Stop doing this match then.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a similar case as what we're going to talk about in the main event in terms of a group that maybe is new from a former group and hasn't really gotten over or hasn't gotten booked in any bloody good way about giving them belts for some bloody reason to just waste away. Oh wait, it's very similar. All right, it's copy and paste time. Right, so just before we kick off into Cody and Roman versus Jacob and Solo, we did have a video package which I had to go to Twitter to find out what it was about. It was Motor City Machine Guns. They're coming to SmackDown, baby. Let's go.
Ooh.
So I assume that's because of the whole Penta and Ray Fenix situation in terms of contracts with AEW, because they were supposed to come in. So I assume Motor City Machine Guns, who were originally slated to go to NXT, are getting to skip NXT because they don't have the Lucha Brothers to come in as a new kind of tag team. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to see the boys and see what they do on SmackDown. See how many times they lose to the Bloodline. That'll be interesting. Right, so we'll break into Cody Roman versus the Bloodline. There was 20 minutes of entrances. What is going on? What is this? Why did they both have full bands? Like, I get why they did, but fuck off, like. Seriously,
not-
like... Oh.
And only one side
It's
has
not
good
mixed.
music.
Oh, it was just... Why did you need that? Like, I get why you needed it, but Jesus Christ, like...
You didn't need it.
You didn't, exactly.
I wish they didn't, if I'm honest with you.
I know. I'm actually genuinely surprised the restraint they showed in not recapping the full like 10-minute clip they did in Georgia Tech's field, because they've done that every other bloody show.
Eye of the storm.
Shout out Titus O'Neil, the boy. Right, so after 20 minutes of a piss break for the entrances. We get Roman and Cody versus the Bloodline. Absolutely littered with this over amdram bollocks of Cody looking and throwing his hand out, and Roman looking and throwing his hand out, and all this fucking bollocks.
But can they coexist?
Apparently, because it's the Bloodline who get right. But okay, seriously, in terms of a breakdown, I just needed to get all this amateur dramatic bollocks out of my system. So we start off with Cody and Jacob Fatu in the ring. Fatu no selling Cody's offense because he's great and he doesn't take any damage for some reason. We get, but I get the blood.
That man, to be fair,
it's difficult. He's a force of nature. He is a storm. He is the storm. But then we get the Bloodline drama. We understand it. But I said the length Cody took to tag Roman in, looking at his hand, was fucking ridiculous. Like, and you just have fucking the Bloodline in the background just looking at him, like, hit him. He's standing there. He's legal. Like, why are you waiting for this? Like, it's stupid. It just took me out of it. Then we have Jacob in the ring with Roman. They throw back and forth a little bit. Then there was a distraction, so Solo come in and drop Roman, and now Fatu gets actually tagged in. I put down Jacob's the most interesting thing about this match. All other three are a bit boring, which is mental because we're talking about two of them being Cody and Roman, which is... anyways, Cody distracted by Solo. Fatu hits him with a pop-up Samoan drop. There was a Uranagi on the apron from Solo to Cody. It was a nice hot tag to Roman. Build things up a little bit. He drops him with his clotheslines. He's over as hell because he's Roman. Then Cody salutes to Roman as he crashes Jacob through the bloody table. Like, see you later, boss. Like, what the fuck is that? So then, oh, Jesus Christ. So he takes out Jacob Fatu. Then we have Tongan's interference. Then we have, oh my god, who's that hooded man with a balaclava? Well, it's not the Tongans because they're already out there. It's bloody Jimmy Uso. He drops both Tongans. He's returned. Roman hits a spear on Solo. Pins Solo. Cody and Roman win. Isn't that fantastic? We're all happy about that. No yeet rules the day. So yeah, then we have the Bloodline starting to... Well, first of all, we just have the weird long lingering stare between Cody and Roman because, you know, they need to take 5 minutes after a match before they can even leave the fucking ring. So then we have Cody, Roman and Jimmy walking up, Jimmy hyping up, being like, yeah, you're the OTC Tribal Chief. And then in the background, you see Cody get dropped by the new Bloodline. Jimmy being the voice of reason because Roman was originally going to bin it off and be like, I don't care because, like, you know, he shouldn't just come back and be a good guy. Like, I understand that. And Jimmy goes, you gave him your word, Oos, but you're the OTC, I'll rock with you. And then Roman goes, fucking fine, we'll go save the fella. So they go in, save Cody, run out the Bloodline. Roman then picks up the belt, looks a little like Gollum with the ring. Oh my god, it's my belt. Blah, blah, blah. Then hands it to Cody. And then they're about to walk off and... Finally, the music hits. Lightning strikes. The final boss is engaged. Rock walks out, puts up 3 fingers, and then does the slit throat thing, and then leaves. Yeah, that was the ending of Bad Blood. Sean, I'm gonna go to you because I can see you are fuming. How did you feel about the main event?
The best thing about this match, I genuinely mean this, is Michael Cole's commentary throughout the entire fucking thing. But other than that, it was slow. It was losing me more and more as it went on throughout the match. Jimmy's return, expected, it was predictable, but it was executed very well. I love like how like the Tongans don't fucking realize, but Solo's in the ring, and he goes, "Hey, hold up, who the fuck is that?" And you know, Jimmy pops out. I thought that was really well done, but
Yeah.
I really thought I had it in me to watch another, like, you know, 5-6 months of, or whatever the fuck it is until Mania, of, you know, Bloodline feud shenanigans.
Mm.
But then I watched this match and I'm really not.
No.
It's the same shit again.
Yeah. It's barely a new coat of paint with
Yeah.
the bloodline
Not
shenanigans,
even
isn't it? Like,
fun.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's Amdram stuff. Then there's a bit of action in the ring. Then the hooded fella shows up. Who is it?
Kills a man.
One of the Fatus. Surprise, shocker! Like, wow.
It's just, there's one person people like in this new faction, and he's the least focused on.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Where's Jacob's time?
Jacob's main event mania, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, give him everything. He's so good, and he's languishing here.
Like, he had a long ass world title reign before Roman did, because like he held the MLW title for like 900 days.
Yeah.
They should have like Owens versus Fatu in like Hell in a Cell for Mania, and just have one of those fuckers just jump off the top of it, because I know they would, and I know
Yeah,
they
they would.
just get up and keep fighting after.
Yeah,
Get some real glass in there, you know.
But like, yeah, I think everyone's a bit done. Like, I personally, I'm intrigued to see how often Rock shows up, because he was the saving grace of the main event last year. I think he really did inject into that story, but
I don't know about Crown Jewel, but I think for the rest of the year after that, for Survivor Series, especially Netflix, as going into the Royal Rumble, I think it'll probably show up relatively decently. Like, I'll bring up a few short things. First of all, right after the match ends, even before Roman took the belt, the ref went to go hand it to him and then realised his mistake.
oh, I did see that. That's so good. Even the refs don't like Cody.
Yeah. Secondly, there was fan footage of someone when Solo and Jacob went up the crowd. There was someone standing right next to him, and you could hear Solo say, "It's all part of the plan."
Yeah,
Which,
I saw that. I was going to mention that too. Yeah.
I think a lot of people, myself included, have said from the beginning that Rock's pulling the strings. Clearly
Yeah, I
now.
think it was obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Solo can come out on SmackDown and be like, "I did it for the Rock," and everyone will be really happy about it.
The people.
But yeah, that was Bad Blood in the books. I'll just give a quick few little bits that came up after the show. So people were ushered out a certain way out of Bad Blood to catch a particular angle, post copyright. So there's fan footage going around. Apparently there was like no WWE cameras in that vicinity when this happened. This was KO. I don't either, but also like, I like that there's not official footage of it out. Yeah. I like that it's fan footage. There's fan footage of Kevin Owens going up to Cody outside his tour bus afterwards and then beating on him. So Kevin Owens is a heel now. Finally, again, he's getting close to Big Show with these turns. But at least I like Kevin Owens.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Randy.
Yeah, no. Hopefully,
this is happening alone.
I would love a return to like 2009 bold Psycho Orton. I think that is the best Orton. I don't think anyone could dispute that. Well, like Legend Killer maybe, but like I really like the Psycho punt everyone in the head Orton.
Bring back the punt.
Then we have. Yeah, bring it back. Bring it back. It's great. It's such a good finish. It's a real like career ender. Like, you believe people would be put on the shelf after it. Yeah. So then we have The Rock cutting an Instagram promo for 5 minutes after the show where he says nothing. He just says a lot of nothing.
Guys.
He's just refers to himself as the final boss. Is the final boss happy? Is he pissed? Is he angry? Is he whatever? I just know a lot of bullshit's gone on. He buys a guy a beer and a tequila on him because he's The Rock's boy. Then he says that another guy he sees has a really nice watch, and if The Rock had a sister, he'd introduce you to The Rock's sister. Then he goes past some promotional posters. He goes past one of Dusty. Yeah, he goes past one of Dusty, goes, "I love you, I hate your stupid kid." Walks by, sees one of Cena, points at the Cena poster, goes, "Eat some Fruity Pebbles." Whatever, a little bit of fun. And then ZZ Top starts blaring and you can't hear anything else he fucking says for the last like 2 minutes. So
Uh,
that
guys, just long, rambly rock promos on social media. We are so fucking back.
we're back, baby. He doesn't have enough time on the card, so he's gonna cut hour-long videos. He's gonna do YouTube essays. That's what
Yes.
he's gonna do. But
No,
yeah,
he's going to do a
See that?
podcast.
and just the last couple of things, there were some questions floated to Triple H about change of hours on Raw and what to expect from Netflix. Answers it with a lot of nothing. Just says, "Oh, I'll tell you when I know." Basically, it's like, you should
We
probably know
don't
it's
know
2 months
right
out.
now.
Yeah,
We
pretty
don't know
much.
right
He
now,
just
but yeah.
If we want to give Trips a little bit of credit, considering that Dwayne has returned, I'm not eager about it, but Dwayne has returned in the final boss character. Technically, that means we do have a black champion on the roster now.
oh yeah, because he had the people's title given to him by Muhammad
Oh,
Ali's wife herself. But yeah, he's back, so that means it's a triple threat at Saudi Arabia, a Crown
oh
Shield.
my god.
Gunther's getting pinned by the people's elbow, baby. Um, but then lastly, there was a couple of people at the show. They didn't show up, but a couple of people from NXT, Jakari Jackson and Trick Williams were in the venue, but obviously didn't appear on the show.
Whoop
I assume
that
they were just there to
trick.
watch.
Whoop
Yeah,
that
cool.
trick.
NXT champion was there. But yeah, that was Bad Blood in the books. I don't think any of us were too happy about it. It peaked
Eh,
early and fell off quickly.
it's back. It's back.
But The Rock's back, baby. The Rock is back.
I just want something. I want to let the crowd know one thing though. Jeff and Karen had to watch Bad Blood twice to realize that was bad. I had to watch it once to realize halfway through the fucking show it was a shit show. Fucking. But genuinely, I took a moment the other day fucking to look up WWE pay per views in reverse chronological order. It is, in my opinion, the worst WWE pay per view since the Extreme Rules, the last one that took place in the Thunderdome.
Was that a
The
horror
horror.
show at Extreme Rules?
No, it
Horror
was.
show.
I think there was one after it. Was that the one? No, I was thinking of Backlash. That was the one with the zombies.
Fucking zombies.
Is the last one the horror show Extreme Rules?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was on that card? Wait, give us a rundown. What was on that card, Rony?
Oh, I can't remember what was
Eye
on that
for an
fucking card.
eye.
Rey Mysterio,
Oh
fucking Seth
shit!
Rollins.
That was good. That was good shit, pal. That was good. Hold on. What was it? Extreme
Such
Rules.
good shit.
Horror show card. Oh, it's the horror show at Extreme Rules. Ew, even the poster's a bit weird.
Ugly.
Okay, so we had Kevin Owens beat Murphy by pinfall in 9 minutes. We had Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Big E and Kofi. Bailey with Sasha versus Nikki Cross. We had Seth and Ray for the eye for an eye. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Ended in no contest. We had Drew beating Dolph Ziggler in the penultimate match. Oh, this was the swamp fight. This is what this was. Oh god, yeah, that was Braun and Bray.
Not for the title.
No, not for the title, for Swamp Supremacy. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think
yeah, that was...
this 5-minute
rough.
ramble we've just had about a different show sums up how we felt about this one.
yeah.
Yeah. So a few things. We're workshopping it right now, but I think we're gonna start moving weekly show reviews to their own separate thing. Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, as for this one, we've managed to keep it under an hour and a half somehow. Nice. Lads, thank you so much for joining me. Sean, after this you can go back to sleep.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, Jeff, would you like to tell the people about our content?
I would indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are like ourselves, the three of us gorgeous boys, and restless for more wrestling content, you can follow us on all socials. It's Restless Pod on everything on X, Instagram, TikTok, at here. We'll be posting up little weekly. We're going to post up kind of show reviews, quick highlights to say 3 or 4 big moments from each show on reels and stuff like that. And we'll be doing. I'll be hoping to do more kind of news videos, recapping at the end of the day, kind of a big trunket of all the day's news. Mostly stuff from Fightful, obviously PW Church, all that kind of good stuff. So you can find us there. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And just remember to watch wrestling because wrestling should be fun. Bye-bye.